Hey guys, I am going to be going over the IRS timeline for mailing out those stimulus checks to you all now. But before I get into that information, if you haven't subscribed to this channel and you like this content, definitely go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave a like, and drop a comment down below. With that said, let's get straight into the information that you all came here for. The IRS finally released a timeline giving a detailed schedule on when those checks are going out to people who are eligible to receive paper checks. And this timeline is based on your adjusted gross income for the entire year, based on the tax information that they have on file, either 2018 or 2019. And it's whichever tax information is the latest that they do have. As we are already aware, everyone, at least most people, have received their direct deposit as of this moment, and we know there are issues going on with that, and I don't know when the whole correction with all of that is going to happen, but the IRS is still focused on getting those paper checks out to everyone who's still waiting to receive a check. Before we get into the timeline, there's one thing that I think is worth mentioning right now, and that's the fact that for the single filers out there, just remember that at $99,000, you're completely phased out. And I think it's important to remember this because the timeline does not state that exactly at that time frame. So at $99,000, you're completely phased out, and the timeline continues on through the 100, all the way up to the $198,000 threshold. So definitely keep that in mind as I go through this very briefly. So I will drop a link down below to the timeline. I'm looking at the Motley Fool's website where they have this information posted, so it's available to you so you can figure out where you are. But basically, looking at the timeline, everything is going to be done in $10,000 increments. So for the week ending April 24th, paper checks will be mailed out for people with an adjusted gross income of up to $10,000. Then the following week, ending May 1st, will be the range between the $10,000 to the $20,000 adjusted gross income. The following week, of course, will be $20,000 to $30,000. Now let me go to the part of the timeline where the single filers will totally be phased out. They all should have a check mailed out to them by the week ending June 26th. So single filers, you should be able to have a paper check in your hands by the end of June, to say the least, because that's between the $90,000 to $100,000 threshold. After that, we're really looking at couples who are left and who make between $100,000 and $198,000, and again, it continues on in $10,000 increments as of right now based on this schedule, and that completely phases out at $198,000 for the week ending September 4th. So couples can expect to receive their checks and have their checks in hand by the end, or I should say by the beginning of September, that first week in September. So this is the timeline right now. And one other thing to mention is that all other checks, so those who don't have tax info on file, they can begin to receive their checks for the week ending September 11th. So everyone, that is the timeline right now, and I'll drop the link down below as I mentioned earlier. So you can go ahead and check in and see exactly where you fall so you can gauge when to receive your check. And if you haven't had your direct deposit information on file, the last update I saw from the IRS Treasury Secretary, he stated to put your information on there so that you can get your check quicker. It'll be the quickest and easiest way to get your check. And I know there are a lot of issues happening with that website. A few people have commented on my previous videos stating that they couldn't access the portal. So this is the latest information out there. And if I hear anything else, I will bring another video to you all. And if you don't want to miss that video, definitely hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you like the content and the way that I'm presenting this content, go ahead and hit that like button and feel free to drop a comment down below. And as always, thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.